Hi everyone. So welcome from Triggered to Thriving in Your Love Life Masterclass. So in this session, I'm going to take you through a process where you can release any triggers, any negative behavioral patterns, thought patterns that are showing up in your relationship and align yourself to what you actually want from your soulmate relationship. And this is really about you doing the inner work. So it doesn't matter whether you are in a relationship right now, whether you are in a relationship that you want to change and make positive changes, or whether you're actually feeling into whether you're in the right relationship for you, or if you're single right now and just want to do the inner work. So the next time you are thinking about stepping into a relationship or looking to attract a soulmate, then you'll know the right person for you. You'll know what's in alignment for you. So the way that I teach relationships is it's all about aligning yourself rather than focusing on that person. So wherever you are in your journey, you'll be able to get help and make positive changes to step into the most self-loving, the most empowered version of yourself so that you can feel that abundance within you first in order to experience that in your love life as well, which is really, really exciting. Okay. There's just another couple of people joining the call right now. Hi Sabrina, hi Rachel. So before we get into the training, I'm just going to take a few moments at the beginning to help you to get out your head and into your heart so that you can experience this masterclass in the highest and best way for you. Okay, so hi beautiful, Sabrina saying hi beautiful, hi beautiful, hi beauties. So wherever you are, I just invite you to get comfortable, cozy wozy, and just start to close your eyes and place all your attention on your heart, your energetic heart. And I want you just to start to take those long, rich, deep breaths into your heart space. Breathing deeply and holding at the top and letting it all out. Breathing all the way in, holding at the top and letting it all out. And whilst you're in the privacy of your own space, I want you to practice breathing like no one's watching. We've all heard of dancing like no one's watching, but breathe like no one's watching. Take that deep breath. Start to breathe that out. And as you breathe in, feel that energy activating your beautiful heart space. And as you breathe out that big hard exhale, just intentionalize that letting go of anything you've been holding on to, anything that you've been controlling, anything that you've been feeling resistance around, anything that the mind has been attached to. Just allowing for that release, intentionalizing that release, knowing that you have that power. And as you continue this cycle of breath, with all of your attention on your heart, your big, beautiful heart, I want you just to imagine your heart literally glowing up with this beautiful golden colour. And on every inhale, this beautiful golden colour is deepening and deepening. And on every exhale, the golden light is radiating out further and further and further. And feel this light, your light, radiating out up into the sky, past the moon, the sun, the stars, the sky, further and further, through white lights, black lights, golden lights, further and further, and through a jelly-like substance, all the colours of the rainbow, gently connecting with the law of magnetism, allowing your light to move up further and further through pink clouds, and connecting with the law of compassion, and feeling that energy of self-compassion wash through you, and moving up further and further. As you start to move into a beautiful iridescent white light, and the further and further you go into the white light, the more and more supported you feel, the more and more loved you feel, and the more and more yourself you feel. This is the energy of source, the universe energy, creation energy, whatever you want to call this higher power energy that runs through you and all of us. And through this energy, do I have permission to clear your space of any distractions, distortions, or psychic interferences? And if so, please say yes out loud. And fill you with what it feels like to feel completely full and completely filled with unconditional love. And if so, please say yes out loud. If you're watching a replay, say yes out loud to receive this. Beautiful. And now just placing your attention back on your energetic heart space, your heart, the portal of connection to your soul and source. This is where your truth lies, your wants, your needs, your desires lie, your purpose lies. And through your heart, I want you to access your highest truth, your highest intention for what you want to receive in this session today. And whatever that is for you, whether it's self-love, whether it's clarity, whether it's manifesting a change in a relationship, whether it's manifesting a new soulmate, whether it's to let go something from the past, whatever it is for you, trust your truth, trust what you've been shown, trust what you know to be true. And I want you just to feel this in your heart is done. Just feeling what it feels like to have this now, to complete this session, knowing that it's done, knowing that it's a done deal, feeling the shift. And holding this beautiful energy in your heart space, gently returning to your breath through the heart and allowing the breath to bring you back into your body, into the now, and ready to fully participate and receive in this masterclass. The From Triggered to Thriving in Your Love Life Masterclass. So I would love to just hear from you in the chat box what your vibe is now. How do you feel just from taking that moment, a matter of minutes of getting out of your head and into your heart and getting super focused and super clear on your intention? Just pop it in the chat. Carol's saying quite calm and chilled. Amazing, amazing, beautiful. Calm and chilled, always the vibe when we go to the heart. We always feel calmer and more chilled. It's our natural state. Our natural state. What else? Okay. So today I'm going to talk you through a process and how you can make changes, starting with the inner work, okay, but continuously make changes in your relationships, okay, because no matter where you are in your love life, as I said, whether you are in a relationship and you want to make positive changes, whether you are in an amazing relationship, even when in an amazing, healthy relationship, we always hit upper limits. Okay, so what I'm going through today will help to navigate those upper limits, whether you are in a relationship and you really want that clarity around whether this is a life partner, okay, or maybe you're single right now and you want to release. You can see that you've had some patterns, certain patterns with previous relationships that you want to release, so that you know the next time you're saying yes to stepping into a new soulmate partnership, a new relationship, you know that it's going to be aligned and right. Okay, so that work always starts with you, right? So before I get into the training part of the masterclass, I just want to take a little bit of space at the beginning just to share my story. Okay, so some of you know me, some of you have worked with me, some of you are new to my world. I'm Frankie Milligan. I'm an energetic mastery coach, and I work with people to help them to up level all areas of life through stepping into their potential, through doing the inner work, through doing belief changing, mindset work, the energy work, the healing, and the embodiment. So, the embodiment is the strategy in business, the embodiment is the strategy to redesign and change your life. Okay. I do this in my private coaching containers, group coaching containers, retreats, events, and through helping people through my wellness packages as well, my wellness programs. This is my absolute purpose. I absolutely love what I do. My life has changed through doing the inner work, and I love to help people to do the same. So the story that I'm going to share today is a story that I haven't shared before, because I'm always focused on the life transformation, but in relevance to relationships in this conversation today, we pick up our traits, our behaviours, our emotional intelligence that we bring into our relationships from childhood. Okay, so I wanted to share a bit more of my background and how I've brought that into my relationships and how I've made the change in the relationships, and then share the inner work that I've done with you so that you can make those types of changes as well. All right. So I feel that I had two childhoods. It was like two completely different childhoods. For the first 10 years of my life, my parents were together, life was happy. My dad was successful and self-made. There weren't a lot of problems at home. Okay, there weren't a lot of problems at home. And I remember feeling really lucky, feeling really grateful, like life was really happy. And that was a really light part of my life up to around 8 or 10, okay, 8 or 10 years old. And then my dad, our family, lost all the money, okay, all the money. And we went from having a certain level of wealth to being hundreds of thousands of pounds in debt. Okay, I remember one winter with our boiler broke in Scotland, and we had no money to replace the boiler, and we had like ice like all along the inside of our windows, and it was absolutely freezing. So with that, it wasn't just the finances that had changed that had created a lot of stress in the household. My mum and dad's relationship also broke down, and they didn't communicate their problems, they didn't work through their problems, they didn't know or have the tools and how to navigate their issues. So they slowly drifted apart, and they slowly separated, and then they slowly got divorced ultimately. Okay. And it was a very gradual process. And looking back now, the bizarre thing was that whilst all this was going on, whilst our house kind of slowly and gradually became more of a darker, more of a depressed mood, still with like lots of happy times, but generally there was a lot more darkness in those years, a lot more hardship in those years, and a lot more struggle. Okay. Whilst all of this was going on, no one talked about it. No one talked about any of it. When mum started sleeping in my room, no one talked about it. When like my mum and dad gradually separated, no one talked about it. When my mum and dad got divorced, no one told me. No one told me, right? So as a family, I grew up in an environment, and looking back now, it's so bizarre. No one spoke about anything real. No one spoke about problems. My parents didn't know how to sort that out. Okay. And luckily, they have in their later years, they have become more emotionally intelligent. They have up leveled their communication skills, and they're actually best friends now. They're best friends, like the best grandparents, and we we have this real amazing family unit. Okay, but that was after years and years of silence, years of not talking. And as I say, looking back now, it's just bizarre that we did that. Okay, but I'm so proud of where they are now. I'm so proud of what they've navigated. But the reason I'm sharing this is I took that into my relationships. So when I had boyfriends in my 20s, I didn't know how to implement boundaries. I didn't know how to communicate my needs. I'd be getting really upset. I was looking for men to give me validation, men to make me feel good enough, worthy enough. Okay. I was married and going through a divorce at 30. As I was going through a divorce, this person had fraudulently taken out loans in my name and created debt in my name and stopped paying it after I'd served divorce papers. Okay, so I was taking all this stuff into relationship, stuff that I've been carrying from my childhood. Okay, so in 2014, I was 32, and I was coming to the end of a contract for the Commonwealth Games. I'd been working with the Commonwealth Games for 5 years, and I'd started going through my divorce at 30, and it was still ongoing at 32. Okay, and I just wanted more from my life, wanted more from my life. I'd done more work on self-love, and working for the Commonwealth Games, my contract was coming to an end. And I started I didn't realise it at the time because I didn't know what manifestation was, but I'd started to think about Dubai all the time. And I was manifesting Dubai. I'm moving to Dubai. I want a new life in Dubai, like all the time, Dubai. And I was telling everyone after my contract ends, I'm moving to Dubai. I'm getting, and everyone's like, do you know anyone? Have you got a job? Have you got a place to live? And I was like, don't know anyone, don't have a job, don't have a place to live, but I'm going to Dubai. I just knew I was going to Dubai. And around that time, my now husband, Ravi, who was living in Dubai at the time, visited home, visited Glasgow, and we met. And from that first date, we got together. Okay, it's one of those, if you know, you know. Okay, and I moved to Dubai, and it was a whirlwind romance, and we moved in really quick and got married quite quick and had kids quite quick, and as they say, the rest is history. Now, in the first couple of years, looking back, I was still carrying that trauma. Although I'd done a lot of work on self-love, I was still on certain levels, looking for Ravi to make me feel special, to make me feel good enough, to make me feel validated. Like I would expect like a big thing at Christmas, or to be spoiled and all of these things, but there's that the energy behind it. I needed to be made to feel special. Okay. And because I didn't feel that inside, I was pushing that on him, which was a really weird energy at the time, a really weird energy. But shit really hit the fan when we had kids. And during this point, like we had two under two kids, okay, and we were clashing and triggering each other. Life had changed. It wasn't just us. We couldn't just travel and do what we wanted and living in Dubai. Like we had a lot more pressure. And at that point, we didn't have the tools to navigate. We were hitting upper limit after upper limit. Every 3 months, we were having like the same argument, the same blow up over parenting, or who get more time than the other one, or just we were just triggering each other. And it was getting really hard. And we knew that we loved each other, but we didn't have the tools or the emotional intelligence or the know-how just to figure it out. And I was at a point where I felt really stressed, really burnt out, carrying anger, carrying resentment, carrying things that I'd carried from my childhood, still with issues, my mum and dad, even with a great relationship, still carrying that deep down and projecting that onto him, projecting that onto the relationship. And it was during that point that I got into self-development. So I started working with a coach. She was a spiritual business coach, but she helped me with all areas of life. And one of the priceless things that she helped me through was to heal and change my marriage. And in this process with self-development and all the work that I did myself and how it changed all areas of life, but it changed my marriage, that's when I retrained. That's when I became a theta healer, a coach, and now I help other people to do the same. So everything that I'm teaching, I've done it, I've went through it, I'm doing the work myself, okay? So I don't know how I would have navigated it if I didn't have these tools, if I hadn't gone on and like trained again, like I trained in as a theta healer and learned about soulmates, I wouldn't be able to navigate upper limits in the way that I do now. Okay, so what I do in my courses, what I do when I'm coaching someone, I transfer all this training, everything that I've done in my theta healing training, everything that I've learned through the courses that I'm doing, I transfer that onto you so that you now have the tools, the wisdom, you're able to do the inner work to move through these upper limits yourself. It becomes not even about upper limits, just reimagine yourself and your life in the way that you want it to be, and with your relationship as well. Okay. I've written notes and now I don't look at my notes, I jump ahead. But there is a formula that I want to go through today, because there's a formula, the same formula that I use time and time and time again. Okay, so it's a 6-step formula. And when you want to create any changes in a relationship or prepare yourself for your next relationship, the first step always, always, always is about clearing your triggers, okay? Because when you are triggered, okay, when you're triggered, you're not able to receive clarity. If you are feeling angry or resentful or emotional, or you're in that blame game, you're not able to receive clarity, okay? I remember I was in that blame game for so long, blaming the other person. It was never about me, always blaming the other person. I was in that cycle for so long. Okay, so the first step, always, 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 is around clearing your triggers. Only then can you receive the deep clarity, the true clarity that you need to know what you want to do. And before you make the changes, you need to know what it's aligned. Okay. The second step is to release limiting beliefs. Once you've cleared your triggers, release limiting beliefs. No matter where you are, you will always have limiting beliefs. When you're moving into a new level of abundance, you always need to clear limiting beliefs, okay? Like typical limiting beliefs that I see in clients all the time is one, the either or belief, the belief that you need to sacrifice something to have something else. I need to sacrifice success, okay? I need to sacrifice love to have success, or success to have love. Or if I'm successful in my business, I'm going to feel guilty as a mum. Can't be a great mum and have love and be successful in my work or in my business. It's that either or belief, okay? Another one is believing that someone is responsible for your happiness, okay? And this can be really sneaky in a relationship, but they need to act a certain way or be a certain way for you to be happy. Or you might believe you're responsible for their happiness, okay? And that's not true. We're all responsible for our own happiness, like radical responsibility for our own happiness, okay? When we go in and do the subconscious belief work, things will come up that you would just never even know, because 95% of your subconscious is unknown. You're not aware of it. Okay, so it takes for us to go in and do the belief work to see certain things. Like, for example, one of the coaches I'm working with helps me with my beliefs. And when we went in a couple of weeks ago, we were able to see that a limiting belief that I had, very, very, very old, and it's been passed on through my family line, is that I can't reach a certain level of success in my business because it will demasculate my husband. Okay, this is something I would never think of myself. It's not something that I would ever be aware of. It's not who I am, but it doesn't matter. It was still in my subconscious. So it was still playing out on some level. Like, it's still driving my thoughts, driving my behavior, driving my actions. Okay, so we really need to get to know our beliefs so that we can release the beliefs that don't serve us, don't serve relationships, and create new beliefs. And this is an ongoing process. Okay. The third one, and I must stress, only do point 3 when you've done point 1 and 2, or you won't get clear guidance. The third one is being able to get out your head and into your heart and see whether you're with your life partner, or see what you want in a life partner if you're manifesting something else. Okay, so you can go in and get that clear guidance on this relationship, whether it's a relationship that you're in or whether it's a future relationship. But you need to have cleared your triggers and released your limiting beliefs to be able to access that. Okay, otherwise it will just be distorted. It'll be distorted information that you get. The fourth one is, whilst you're connected, is exploring the vision. This is the new level of relationship, the new level of what you want. Again, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship now or you're looking to manifest someone, whether it's now or in the future. This is just about, what do you want? What do you want it to look like? How are you changing the rules? Okay, how are you changing things? It could be you want to go for breakfast on a Monday. But I recommend making it really, really real for you in your life. Okay, like, what are you doing with your life? How are you having fun together? How are you playing together? How do you talk? Okay, reimagining. And it's the inner work and the outer work. So when I started doing this for my husband and changing my behaviour and just going up and giving him a big kiss or a big cuddle, and he'd be like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not used to you doing this. I'm used to you being like annoyed at me. But that was the change in behaviour, right? That new level. Once I'd gone in, I was able to access that new level. And when you've accessed it, you put it into practice. Okay, so whatever it is for you, I feel like there's a lot of like rules, what we should be like. We see other people on social media doing their family life or their relationships, and it's about untagging from that and doing it your way, doing it in the way that feels good for you and feels aligned for you. The fifth one is then to, when you know what you want, take the action. Continuously take that action. How are you changing things? If you know that you want to go for breakfast with your partner on a Saturday, book the breakfast. Okay, if you know that you want to change the way that you talk to each other, okay, look at the way you're talking, become more conscious of your words, and then it'll change. Okay. And then the final point, the sixth point, and I cannot even express how much of a game changer this is, talking to their higher self. Okay, so you might have already done work on your higher self, or work to step into the next, like the next version of you, the best version of you. So your higher self is the absolute best version of you, right? When you tune into their higher self, you start talking to the best version of them. Okay, you see their truth, their power, their gifts. You see like the goodness in their heart. And when you start talking to someone as if you're talking to the absolute best version of them, I cannot even tell you, it blows my mind and how people will respond to you. When you start doing that to your partner and they feel that for you, like how they respond will be totally different. I've I speak to everyone's higher self. There's times where I speak to my mum and dad's higher self, my kids' higher self, and it always changes the game. This one thing, speaking to their higher self, I would say was like the biggest thing that changed my marriage. Like when I stopped trying to work on things or fix things and just focused on what I wanted, did the inner work, and did this one thing, it was absolutely incredible with how things changed, how my husband responded to me, and how the energy changed in the relationship. So rather than focusing on what I didn't want, it was all about focusing on what I did want, and then taking those actions so that I was showing up in alignment with that. Okay, so that is the 6 points, and this is a formula that you can go back to time and time and time again. It's the same formula whenever you want to make any changes, even if things are good and you just want like new levels of spaciousness or more calm or more fun, whatever it is, whatever that next level, whatever upper limit it is that you're hitting, it's this formula that you can go back to time and time and time again. Okay. So whether you are watching live or watching the replay, I invite you to reach out, ask me if you've got any questions at all around this formula. And there are a couple of ways that I can help you to implement this formula to make the changes within yourself and in relationship, and actually do the inner work so that you can step into the next level of you, be your potential, and create all the changes in your life that you want. In your relationship, yes, but in the other areas as well. Okay. So a couple of ways that I can do this is the first one in private coaching. In private coaching, that's where people receive the fastest, quickest, most powerful changes over a shorter space of time, working with me one to one, because in one to one, I can dive deep and we work on your bespoke needs, your bespoke beliefs. Okay, so one to one coaching is always, always, always the fastest, quickest way to make the changes. And we work on exactly what you need, what your goals are over the next few months, like personally, with your self development, and also in your work life as well. Okay, and it's about creating that change from the inside out, from your mindset, from your energy, doing any of the healing and doing that real up level from the inside out. The other way that I can help you is through my group coaching program, Self Sourced. This is an incredible personal development program. Okay, it incorporates spirituality, the mindset, the energetics, the healing, and the embodiment. So, the strategy to make changes in all areas of your life. It also includes the deep work on relationships as well. So, guiding you through everything that we went through today, but the inner work around that and the strategy around that, the embodiment around that to make the changes and up level your relationships. There is a combination of self-study and also live group coaching. So there's over 20 modules in self-sourced. Also do 2 group coaching calls every single month. There's a library of meditations and tools that you can dive into and support you with whatever you're working on throughout the month. And you have lifetime access. So once you join, it's not like a program where you get access for a few months and then you're out, or a year. You get lifetime access. Okay. And just to let you know the price of that, so for self-source, that is £1,366 up front, and there's a couple of payment plans as well. So either 6 monthly installments of 333 or 11 monthly installments of 202. Okay, so you'll receive all of this in the email. I'll send some follow-up emails with further information over the next few days, and I'll reach out to see how it's landing and if you've got any questions. So amazing. I look forward to going deeper with you on this, and yeah, let me know how it lands. Let me know if you've got any questions. Let me know if you're interested in receiving the deeper support, and I can't wait to continue the conversation.